I have my lovely team here, and I'm not sure I am the best one to describe anxiety, and I'm also very positive that I am the best one to describe anxiety. So let me explain that. I don't have any. So that might make me a really good person to talk about it, since, in medicine we study everyone who's sick. It's good to study who's well. So being a person who's never had anxiety, if you look for anxiety on a brain MRI, you see nothing. It's not a physical, tangible, biomechanical disorder. It's a behavior. It's a learned, associated, and accumulated behavior, right? So I never accumulated it, I never learned it, and I've been one of those why children that always want to know, and know is very soothing. Anxiety is a biofeedback to let you know you're ignoring something. So I've had a mental behavior of turning over every rock and learning the stuff I don't know, and it has a lot to do with soothing anxiety. There are other reasons for anxiety. Head injuries. I've never had a head injury. If you smash your head, you can get some neuroendocrine imbalances that start to trigger receptors, and also toxicity. So I was a wastewater treatment plant chemist that tested out of genomics and gene therapies in the 90s, okay? My supervisor worked for Mayo Clinic on doing cancer cell suicide, and I was part of CBD research in the 90s. I have an interesting background, but the studying, I did start college at 15. So if I'm looking a little young, some people are like, she's a liar. But no, I really was a nerd. Very, very into this. So emotionally, people can have all of those things. They can come from trauma. They can have a head injury. They can have really weird prescription backgrounds, like too many antibiotics, dental procedures with antibiotics, skin procedures with antibiotics, antibiotics with birth. And so they can start with really interesting floras. They can travel to international countries and get protozoa. What is that? It's a parasite. Brain parasites, intestinal parasites, natural, found in nature. So we can have emotional tendencies. You could actually grow up with an abusive grandmother or families that are very depressed, and that can be a learned behavior. You can actually get addicted to being sad or not feel comfortable being happy because you're just not used to those neuroendocrine receptors being stimulated. Well, what the heck does that mean? That means that if a puppy bit you, you might think they're all jerks, and you might get high testosterone from seeing a puppy, but Christine could love puppies when she was a kid, and every time she sees one, she gets high dopamine and wants to give them a hug. Okay? So she might have anxiety because her friend doesn't like puppies and now they can't hang out together. So all of us will have different endocrine responses because of how we perceive the situation. What do we do about anxiety? So at our clinic, we have a neuro rehab center. If you do have a head injury, we do very advanced neuro screening and we take care of that. We have supplementation that helps you regenerate neurons because they take 1 to 3 years. You don't want to mess around with that. We have V-Light and cold laser that supplement that, and we have a lot of basic tools. We co-treat with some of the best neurospecialists in the area that have facilities just for it. We also have the Bach remedy formulas. In Europe for hundreds of years, you've had mastery, just absolute mastery in mental and emotional imbalances. They have tinctures. We can actually make custom blends based on an intake. If you have kids that are anxious in school, and it's learned behavior, or if you have a family of emotional, physical trauma or abuse, we can really start to soothe some of the kids with the homeopathy. It's little drops that go in water, and so it is beyond easy to take. It has very little flavor. This is one of our favorite things to get started, and they also have it for pets, right? We live in the Great Northwest. Some of our hairy children have been traumatized or rescued, and instead of that interrupting your day every day, you can retrain them with some of the emotional formulas as well. So we really love that tool. We have the DeMartini Institute. We do a seminar. My husband and I have flown all over the world. We've trained with John Demartini himself, and we have been part of a documentary. Layla has gotten certified. I've been master certified. So what we do is we teach people how to get organized, and we clean out mental hoarding. Our perceptions that are imbalanced, these massive likes and dislikes, if you feel like you want people to be proud of you, if you're always looking for support and running away from challenge, if you really think abusers are bad and you have a hard time getting centered, anxiety is the other side trying to reveal itself so you're balanced. Now, when you're emotional, it's not easy to see this eye with this eye, right? So you have this whole world that is expressing things to you to try and teach you that you're being one-sided, right? We love this class. It starts bringing logic to emotion so you can get out of your own emotional mess. So don't get lost, don't withdraw, and don't get sucked into medication. Sometimes it's just a habit. Like I said, depression isn't found on an MRI. It's a behavior. So the Human Behavior Institute's the way to go here. It takes very little time and money to come to one class, just to get a good idea of what's going on. We will include a link in this video so you can check out our class schedule and make it to one of our talks if you would like to know a little bit more information. This is very, very cool. You can go to Apple TV and look for The Breakthrough Experience with John Demartini documentary to learn more about it, which would be terrific. Now, the other thing about anxiety is just really, really understanding infection. Okay, we live in a world of toxins. So if you come over to our toxin center, your shampoos, your fake polyester clothes, your HVAC, your cheap toys, plastic white toys from the dollar store, this kind of stuff has really bad volatile components that get into the DNA, modify things, epigenetically change hormones. Hormones, oh my gosh, teenagers and menopausal, we're scary. We scare ourselves, no. But anxiety is part of those major hormonal shifts. And we live in a world with chemicals that have blocked receptors, so even if your body is trying to get normal, it can't. So sometimes we really need to detox to open up those receptors so your body can just do its regular job. There's a lot of options out there to take medications to do it for you. And every time somebody does it for you, you lose the power to do it yourself. It's the opposite of empowerment. Being unempowered is a way to support anxiety. So you can see why I would have a problem going that route, okay? So throw away your household cleaners and your toxic dollar store beauty stuff, and please get something that's natural, that doesn't have toxins in it. Have a nice spa day. You know, we've got the clays and powders, we wrap ourselves up, we scrub our skin, we skin brush, we listen to our favorite music, we sweat. Get that stuff out of you. Put the good supplements in, right? Castor oil packing, this takes the toxins out of the connective tissue, where you get cellulites, extra pain in all those extremities. There's most likely toxins in there, and the castor oil can draw it out. It's $5 a bottle, right? So imagine how easy that is. You're not paying for insurance and co-pays and 20% co-insurance, and then they don't cover stuff that works. And then the medication's expensive and you need a copay on that. We've got $5 castor oil, $12 clay. You get to sit at home, have a nice fresh pressed juice with the girls or the guys, and get that stuff out of you. So it can be a lot of fun. We can get your environment, your exercises, your emotions, your trained neuro, and customize vitamins and minerals with some of the testing, right? For the kids' anxiety. We have a whole kids section, which is just awesome. A lot of kids are growing way fast, okay? I would say right about now, about 90% of your kids are undernourished in 1 or 20 vitamins or minerals. We have stress chewies, we have probiotics, we have antivirals, we have a lot of the good stuff. So it could be as easy as giving your kids a treat. I gotta tell you, they're pretty yummy. Some people think I'm smiling all the time and that it's fake. And it's hard to not smile when you have a team, you know what to take. And when you have a stressful day, you've actually treated it. Some people say, I went to yoga class to get rid of my stress. Well, did you? What about your perception of the stress? Do you still hate it? Did yoga fix that? You know? So you can do things that relax you, but then you go back to the stress. That's a distraction. It's not a cure, okay? Viruses, some people's immune system get run down, especially kiddos. And if that happens, they can get a lot of inflammation and they just don't feel good. And we get misdiagnosed anxiety because they're just really not well. Then some kids have a lot of food allergies. Chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, fake juices every 2 hours are all pre-diabetes. Brain sugar imbalance is pretty much cognitive decline. Okay? So with the histamine junior, this can bring some of the allergies and the sniffling and the gut problems that start breeding anxiety, because sometimes the kids have no reason for being they're just deficient and their immune system's going rampant. So we like to get the multivitamin in there because they're going to use double what adults do, obviously, because they're tripling in size, and there's a lot going on there. The other thing's electrolytes. You can get pretty weird without electrolytes. Your entire body is a neurological system. Do you know how many people drink coffee instead of water? So 70% of the population or more, according to my clinical intakes, are dehydrated. This is insane. Your brain doesn't work, your discs shrink, your nerves don't fire right, and that alone creates a low-grade anxiety. You throw a bad day at work, a relationship fight, and a kid tugging on you, and a low night's sleep, and it's only human to crack. So with what we have going on nowadays, how can you lose? But for the kids, please just get the basics in there. And then a lot of times, all of the lovely systems go back in order because they can bounce right back, right? They got new cells. So we don't take anxiety lightly here just for the health of it. And we really don't want you to just sweep it under the rug or feel like whatever you're doing now is fixing it. Because if it's still there, it's not. And we like to get to the bottom of it. When it's fixed, it goes away. So if you're one of those where it's still present or you've managed it and you want to get to the next level, then join us and we will have an amazing time helping you. We look forward to hearing from you.